The New Orleans Jesters have been around since 2008, but tonight begins a new era in team history. On the premiere edition of the Jesters Court, we will get you ready for the 2016 season. We will take a look back at last season, and we will show you some of the things the Jesters have done in the offseason. Plus, we'll have our first edition of Joking Around and Training Tips, plus Coach Farrell will take your questions. The Jesters Court kicks off right now. This is the Buffalo Wild Wings on Veterans Boulevard, where the Jesters Court is the newest part of the Buffalo Wild Wings experience. 21 signature sauces and seasonings, along with 50 beers on tap. There are wall-to-wall TVs and projector screens, where you can catch all of the day's live action, including all of this summer's soccer matches from all around the world. And we welcome you inside to the premiere edition of the Jesters Court. I'm Paul Bourne, along with New Orleans Jesters head coach Kenny Farrell. And Coach, this endeavor has been months in the making, but here we are, our first episode. How excited are you about it?
I'm very excited for it. I'm very excited for the season. I'm glad that we're able to get the word out about what's going on in the city, especially soccer-wise. It's been growing. The Jesters have been growing, as you well know, over the years. And it's a great opportunity to tie it all together with the city, the team, the young kids in the academy, and then, you know, with you guys coming in and partnering up with us, it's just a great opportunity for us. So, very exciting time to be involved.
Now, before we get into this year's season, we got to look back to last season, which didn't quite go as well as you had hoped. You had some positives, but also some negatives. The record wasn't what you wanted it to be. Talk about last year as we look at some of the numbers.
Well, in the level of soccer we played, the NPSL, there's about a 3-year cycle in teams. So last year the year before was a turnover. We had a fantastic season, and I think we could have gone a little bit further than we did. Got beat away in the final of the division. And then rebuilding last year, we were always just a little bit short in games. They were close games. We were a little bit short. And I was very proud of the way the young local players stepped up last year. And this year we brought in some new players to add some experience and depth, which I'm very happy about. So I'm looking forward to season coming up. We saw where we were a little short last year, and I do believe we'll be tremendously successful this year.
Now, this is the portion of the show. Normally, we will have the highlights of the games, but of course, this is the first show before the first game. So we're going to look at some players we need to look at this season that could be key players for the purple, green, and black. And Coach, we're going to start with Jordan Kanashi, a player that you expect to be an explosive player for you this season.
Yeah, a great young player, came out of Luton Town in England, a big club. Didn't sign him as a professional there, decided to come to the United States, playing for us. And he'll play up front, lots of pace. We hope to open up those defenses with his pace. Should be able to do that. And also he's a great finisher, badly needed a finisher. As I said last year, in those very close games that we had, we couldn't put the ball away. And this year I would hope that he can do that for us.
Let's hear a little bit from Jordan Kanashi as we spoke to him out at training.
I'm quick, and my dribbling are my two strongest assets, I'd say. I mean, I can finish as well, but my pace and my dribbling.
What can fans expect out of you if you were to describe your game to them?
I won't stop running. I'll work hard for the team no matter what, even if I'm in a bad game, and hopefully I can get a few goals up top and just help the team do as best as possible.
Next, we want to talk about one of the guys that will be patrolling the back line for you, Coach, a guy who describes himself as a British Bulldog, Niall Smith.
Yeah, British Bulldog is good. Niall Smith is a tremendous player. Lots of experience playing at the back. Played again at Sheffield Wednesday in England, a huge club. He's come to play for us. I was looking for experience across the back line. I expect him to be organising across the back along with the central defenders that we brought in and keep us very tight back there. The experience is going to count. He's a very good player. Going forward as well, he's a very good player. I just think it's a very big upgrade on last season.
Here he is, Niall Smith, talking about his style of play.
I think that last year's say unsuccessful sort of job will drive us on for this year, and hopefully we can have a big push in the playoffs and maybe go all the way. That's the plans.
What are your personal and team goals?
My personal goals are to get as much out of it as I can, and I always play 100%. I'm more of like a little British bulldog. Like I'm one of the smallest players on the pitch, but I'll always give 100%, and any tackle that goes in, like 9 times out of 10, the kid's going down, if not the ball.
And lastly, a guy Jesters fans should be very familiar with. He's a guy that fancies himself as Mr. Jester, Tony Giudice.
Well, he probably is Mr. Jester at this stage. Tony, I could go back to, I've coached most of his family, brothers and sisters over the years. He came through a youth system. He played for me as a youth. He is like a heart and soul. He beats. He dies for the Jesters, and just that sense of pride and passion for his city is undeniable, and it's something that you can't buy. It's something that a player has that brings every time he's at training, every time he's in the game. Anytime I leave him out, he's in my face wanting to have a fight with me. He's just got that passion for the club and the city. It's tremendous.
Here he is, Mr. Jester.
As a player, I try to stay on the field, and I've realized through the past what kept me on the field was my hard work, my grit. My job really is to make my teammates' jobs easier on the field.
All right, Coach. Well, you got 7 returning local players, 2 more local players that will be joining the mix. Tell me about this roster and what you like about it.
Well, I'm happy with the local players because, as I say, last season we started to see some of those shine. As I said, we weren't deep enough, but I think another year coming through, Jordan Rice is showing some great stuff for us. Ralph Price is coming back in, who towards the end of the season had some tremendous performances for us. There's going to be great pressure in the goalkeeper position. We've got Newby, Hanley, and a player coming in from out of town, so I want that goalkeeping position to have so much pressure on it. And of course, the one I can't forget is Rolando Sanchez. He's been with us for 3 years now. He's out of Covington, and I expect this year he will shine for us. And then we got some new players coming in, especially Mason Maurice from Mandeville, who's gone to Memphis University, and I expect him to do extremely well in midfield. Over and above that, you mix that with the outside talent coming in. We're expecting big things from the team, and quite excited.
We're going to get to know more of these players in the coming weeks and some of the things you may not know about some of those Jesters players. But coming up on the Jesters Court, we will talk about the upcoming season as we have our coaches breakdown. We will look at 2 plays from last year that will highlight the good and the bad from 2015. And we will see what the Jesters have been doing around New Orleans in recent weeks. That's when the Jesters Court continues. This edition of the Jesters Court is presented by Heineken. Open your world. And by Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
I wasn't born in America, and arriving here wasn't easy for me. They didn't even say my name right. I thought I'd never fit in. But over time, I gained their respect, and that respect turned into admiration. Admiration into love. And the world better be ready, 'cause I'm an American now. My name is soccer.
Big plays, baby, big plays. Is that Mike?
Yeah, he lost his wallet or something. He's on his way.
Classic Mike.
The B-Dubs Fast Break Lunch Menu. Fast, affordable lunches with a side of serious sports action. Dine in or take out. Weekdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Welcome back to the Jesters Court presented by Heineken. And even though the Jesters don't kick off the season until Saturday night, that doesn't mean they haven't been busy. They are developing the next generation of soccer players through their academy. As a part of the organization's goal to bring high-level soccer to the New Orleans metropolitan area, the New Orleans Jesters Academy is developing young players with methods that focus on individual technical ability and teamwork. The Jesters provide training opportunities for girls and boys under 8 years old through the age of 15.
The Academy takes players out of the Carrollton Boosters Recreational League and offers them additional training on the side from the professional coaches. We strictly train twice a week and occasionally play a friendly maybe once a month and then take them on a tournament towards the end of the season as a reward. But it's not all about winning, it's about the development of the child.
The difficulty I've found in the United States is a lot of soccer clubs, they measure their success on how many games they win or how many medals are put up on the wall, which is unfortunately one of the main reasons why the United States struggles to create a world-class soccer player. So you've got to go basically back to basics, which we try and do, and build a player from the bottom up.
And Coach, while you don't concentrate on wins and losses, there's nothing wrong with bringing home a trophy, something a couple of your teams have done recently.
Yeah, well, we've a very great success at the Strawberry Cup in Hammond about 3 weeks ago. We took over 10 teams, most of them under 10, but all the teams had great success. But in the under 10 level, where there was 8 divisions, we were in 6 finals, which is huge, which tells us we're doing a great job with the young kids. And you mentioned, like, I think every team, every age, when they step on a pitch, whether it's the big team or the academy, you want to win. But one thing that's very, very clear, and we've been saying this from the day we started the academy, is at what cost do we want to win? We want to develop players, and we want to develop every single player that's in our academy, and we're dedicated to that.
All right, Coach, well, it's time for our coaches breakdown, and we're going to look at 2 plays from a year ago, both from the same game. First off, we're going to start with this game against Jacksonville, and this was the goal that evened things up, and this is really one of the goals of the year for you guys.
Yeah, no, it was a great goal. We won it back deep in the defensive third, 1-0 down. Early ball played forward because Jacksonville had pushed on, got many players in front of the ball. So when we won it back, the transition was excellent.
And we're going to look at that now. Look at Jacksonville and how many men they had forward there.
That's right. So we got pressure on the ball right here in midfield. It's actually second half. Their legs are getting a little bit tired because it's the first game of the season. So their player coughs it up. We keep pressure on him. We win it back fair and square. And as he takes it under control, Jacksonville had got so many players forward. So I was delighted that the player's first look was very deep. He plays a very good ball that we know the wide player is going to keep under control. It's away from the defender, which gives him an opportunity to go 1v1 with him. He draws the other defender in, squares it to an open goal, to a lovely finish. So it doesn't get much better than that. That was really a well-executed goal. It's perfect tactical decision-making, and felt good at the time. And I give them all credit for what they did.
Now for the second play of Coach, things didn't go so well. This is later in the game, and this was a tough goal to give up.
Yeah, it was a bad goal. It certainly was. He went past 2 defenders, but really, apart from the poor defending from those, really we were in some, almost decent defensive shape. And then some poor decision-making by some of our players allowed the channel to be created and for them to get good numbers against our numbers in the final third. And as it goes through, okay, right there, you see that our player that should have been pressing from the goal side actually goes on the wrong side of the player, which gives him an opportunity to go goalward. So we go from being 4 versus 3, and he's still wrong side of the ball. So now we have a 1-2 situation created because he's gone forward. And as you see when he plays the ball here, it'll be a 1-2 in behind him. And look, there's no pressure from any player here around him. So he ended up being 1v1 3 times, beating all players and scoring a goal. Just a terrible goal to give away. I put a lot of it down to early season tiredness. I think it was about 2 or 3 minutes to go, but should never have happened that way.
Well, hopefully, Coach, we'll see more good than bad in those breakdown segments as the season goes along. It's time now for our Get to Know segment, a fun segment we call Joking Around. And our first player is Ibrahim Belakous.
Hi, I'm Ibrahim Belakous. I'm a central midfielder, and this is my first year with the Jesters. It's couscous, because I grew up with it. My mom used to always make it growing up. My favorite TV show is Game of Thrones, and it's the same reason as everyone else. It's the best show on TV. My favorite musical artist is probably Kanye West. I just like all the stuff he does. I like all his albums. A city that I want to visit is probably either Cape Town or Johannesburg, somewhere in South Africa. I've always wanted to go to South Africa. Yeah, I have a lot of friends from there. They always tell me how nice of a place it is, so it's somewhere I'd like to visit in the future. I don't. This is the only thing I'm good at. I've dedicated my life to this, so it's the only thing I can be good at. If I wasn't a soccer player, probably a coach of some sort, a soccer coach. That's what I want to get into after my playing career is done. I'd rather do coaching as well. My idol, my favorite soccer player is Zinedine Zidane. I mean, growing up, I was 5 when I saw the 1998 World Cup, and he was amazing then, and since then I followed him, and I know everything about him, the way he plays, the way he thinks, and I always wanted to emulate that.
When we come back to the Jesters Court presented by Heineken, it's time for you to get involved in the show as Coach Farrell answers your questions. That's next here on CST.
I wasn't born in America. and arriving here wasn't easy for me. They didn't even say my name right. I thought I'd never fit in. But over time, I gained their respect, and that respect turned into admiration. Admiration into love. And the world better be ready, 'cause I'm an American now. My name is soccer.
It's our town and our team. The New Orleans Jesters are back at Pan American Stadium for the 2016 season. Jesters Soccer is affordable family entertainment with season tickets starting at just $60 for adults and $35 for kids 14 and under, for an 8-game schedule that includes NPSL action and the newly created state battle for the Louisiana Cup. To get your Jesters tickets, go to nolajesters.com or call 504-312-3979. Welcome back to the Jesters Court, presented by Heineken, and we are inside the Buffalo Wild Wings on Veterans Boulevard in Metairie. I am Paul Bourne, along with Jesters coach Kenny Farrell. And Coach, it's the time of the show. We're going to take questions from the fans, also on Twitter. But I'm going to start things off by what happened this week, a huge event in the Premiership. I don't have a team I specifically follow. I was rooting for Leicester City. I was entranced by the story of them winning the Premiership. How big a story is this, and how did they do it?
I think it's the biggest story ever of the Premier League. I mean, it was like no one ever thought this would happen. If you did look at Leicester at the end of last season when they were in the relegation battle, you could see that some of their players were excellent, and they dug out of a hole when everybody thought they were going to be relegated. Then they bring in a top-class coach, and he put a few pieces into that team. And to me, they were the best team to watch all season.
Only the 6th team ever to win the Premier League title, which is impressive onto itself. Now we've got fans here at Buffalo Wild Wings who have questions for Coach Farrell, so let's turn it over to the first question.
I have a big question for you. You got all these kids running around here. They're all wearing Jesters jerseys and jerseys with the Jesters logos. What's going on with that?
Well, thanks for the question. Yeah, all the kids are running around. Part of the objective and the goal of the New Orleans Jesters is to build a real structure based on development. We're focused on putting great entertainment on the field on Saturday nights in the NPSL League, but we're also very, very focused on giving our players, if they want an opportunity, a pathway to the top level, whether it be college or if they want to get into the minor leagues, if they apply themselves, and we can help them maximize their potential and their talent. And so when you see all these kids, it's all part of the structure, it's all part of the pyramid we're building, and it makes us all very happy to see it coming to some kind of fruition right now, but plenty of building still to do.
All right, we got a question from Twitter. This is from @RalphLeePrice. He wants to know what your greatest memory was of playing for the Shelburne Football Club in the League of Ireland.
I think it was my second or third game for Shelburne. I was very young when I broke in, and I was asked to travel away to Glentoran, which is a very big club in Northern Ireland. Just before the game, the manager came to me because somebody felt ill and said, "You're going to step in at centre-back." And I was playing with Irish internationals on our side. But what happened was we were playing against 5 international players that had come back from the 1982 World Cup with Spain that had been so successful. Players that I was looking at on TV not too long before. And then all of a sudden, I'm asked to match up with some of these fantastic players, and in a tremendous stadium, the Oval in Belfast, and it was just that was really a tremendous feeling, and I've never ever forgot it.
All right, it's time for another question from one of our fans, so let's see what this little guy has.
What does it feel like to be on a big field?
What is it like to play on the big field? Well, let me answer it this way. After working so hard as a youth player and trying to put so much work in when you're young and playing on the small field, and you finally get to play on that big field 11v11, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. But the wait is worth it, and all the training to get there is worth it. But it is fantastic, and I can't wait to see you play there as well.
All right, we got another little guy that's got a question, so let's see what he has for us.
Who are the Jesters playing in their first game of the season?
Thanks for the question. Jesters are playing the first home game this Saturday night against the Houston Hurricanes. It's a rivalry that we've built up over the years. We haven't lost to them yet, and we're not going to lose on Saturday night. But we have a good rivalry going on there. There's an Irish coach grew up very close to where I grew up in Dublin, and he's very passionate about the game. And it's going to be on Saturday night at 7 p.m. at Pan American Stadium this upcoming Saturday, May 7th.
And we'll talk more about a lot of what's going on Saturday night. We got another little guy that's got a question for us, so let's hear it.
Who was your favorite player to coach?
I think one of the best players so far I've had to coach has been Keir Hannity. I don't want to single one player out. 2 seasons ago, we had a lot of players that are very responsive to, to information that you give them. Keir was one of them. He's a big leader still here. Jordan Holm was a great player for us, who's not here anymore. But I think it comes down to Keir Hannity because of his response to what we ask him to do on the field. He's been captain for us, and what happens is basically in soccer when the captain goes on the field, he is the coach, so he's got to get everything that's in my mind into the players on the pitch as we're playing the game. And he has done that superbly for us, and I expect it again from him again this season.
Another good question, and we've got 2 more from Twitter. This one from Jake Morris, who wants to know, could Dwayne Jones make the team right now?
If he just lost 2 or 3 pounds, he's got a chance. He's such a special player in his day. Injury cut his career short. I mean, he was simply one of the best players the country had. He's a great asset to me now as an assistant coach. But maybe we're just better keep him on the bench right now.
And one final one, Coach Jones, a popular subject. This one from Sam M., who wants the over-under on the amount of wings that Coach Dwayne Jones can take down in one sitting.
In one sitting?
Yeah.
In one mouthful? Coach Jones loves his chicken wings. I'll leave it at that.
Oh, you're not going to be a popular man in training. Now, if you want to be a part of the show, you can tweet your questions. Use the hashtag AskCoachFarrell, and we will get your questions on the air each week. Now, coming up on the Jesters Court, we will provide you a little instruction with this week's training tip, and we will take a look at the week ahead. That's coming up after these messages.
I wasn't born in America, and arriving here wasn't easy for me. They didn't even say my name right. I thought I'd never fit in. But over time, I gained their respect, and that respect turned into admiration. Admiration into love. And the world better be ready, 'cause I'm an American now. My name is soccer.
Big plays, baby, big plays. Is that Mike?
Yeah, he lost his wall or something. He's on his way.
Classic Mike.
The B-Dubs Fast Break Lunch Menu. Fast, affordable lunches with a side of serious sports action. Dine in or take out. Weekdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
We showed you earlier how the Jesters are developing youth soccer players, but it isn't just detailed instruction. The team also makes the game fun as they hold a variety of camps around town just to get kids running around, having fun, and maybe learning a little bit. This was at the Big Easy Sportsplex during the Easter camp.
It's really fun and they teach a lot.
What did you learn?
I learned inside, outside, scissors, and how to be good at defense.
I like the camp because it's fun, because we get to do fun drills and we get to play tournaments.
And what's the number one thing you remember learning?
I remember to learn to pass and get more open.
We teach them basics from how to pass a ball, stop a ball, how to do throwings, and we intend sometimes doing like fun stuff what kids enjoy, and we do it for the whole week, and we've had great success over it. Kids love it.
So Kenny, the academies and the camps are a little different. What do you want to accomplish with the camps?
It's just to get them to get a passion for the game and a love for the game with our players, which are obviously quality players, and give great instruction. So, we do that all summer long, and people really enjoy it.
All right, Coach. Well, now it's time for our weekly training tip. This week, Fabian Lagaspada teaches us one of the best ways to control the ball in the air.
Hi, my name is Fabian Lagaspada. I've been with the New Orleans Jesters for about 4 years now. I am from New Orleans, and I'm here to give you a tip on how to bring down the ball with your chest. One of the most common mistakes that a player does when they try to control the ball with their chest is they oftentimes stick their chest out, which in turn leads to the ball bouncing off your body instead of bringing it down and actually controlling the ball. So if you want to bring down the ball with your chest, the first thing you need to do is you need a stagger stance with your feet. So stagger your feet, right, one in front of the other, right? When I throw the ball to you, just lean back, right? Lean back, let it drop, and then volley with your right foot. Ready? Good. Yeah. Now you want to stagger it a little more, right? Ready? Just bring it back, just lean back. Ready? Good. Lean back, let it drop. Good. One more. Lean back, let it drop. Good. Lean back. Good. So now if you master that technique, it'll give you more confidence into controlling the ball out the air. As it's coming out the air, it'll give more confidence in bringing the ball down and controlling it with your feet.
Good stuff there from Fabian, and now it's time for our look ahead with the Jesters to see what's going on this week. It's presented by Buffalo Wild Wings. And Coach, the season gets underway Saturday night, a big Saturday of activities. It starts earlier in the day with the developmental squad.
Yeah, we created a reserve team this year, under 20 developmental team. They're going to play the Marines at 4 p.m. Excited about that. The color guard from the Marines will also be there to do the national anthem before the main game. We're going to have a petting zoo for the kids from 5:30 to 7, and then the main event against Houston Hurricanes kicks off at 7 p.m. So it's a great night of entertainment.
And that's the first of 2 games in 4 days. The second game I know you're really excited about, the start of a new rivalry, a new series, the Louisiana Cup against Shreveport.
Yeah, well, you know, as you see the game progressing in Louisiana, and now we have a second MPSL team of this level. They don't play in our division, and we got together and decided to have the Louisiana Cup, home and away bases, aggregate scores similar to the Champions League, and very exciting, and a lot of people are getting very interested in it, and obviously we want to win it.
For more information on your Jesters and for ticket information, go to nolajesters.com. You can follow them on Twitter at NolaJesters, and you can follow me for Jesters information at pboron88. So the season is right around the corner, and we're pleased to be joined by a couple members of the Royal Court, the supporters group for the Jesters. Guys, happy to have you with us. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the Royal Court?
The Royal Court is the local fan group for the Jesters, and we just like to come out, have fun, watch the games, and support the Jesters as much as we can.
Why don't you tell us how people can get involved in joining your group?
All right, our season ticket package is for $75. You get access to our pregame tailgate, includes beer, food, all that good stuff. All 9 games that the Jesters are playing at home this year. You get these great scarves, these great mags you see in front of us. You can tweet us at Royal Court NOLA on Twitter, or we're on Facebook, facebook.com/Royal Court NOLA.
All right, guys, and thanks for being a part of the first Jesters Court. It is much appreciated. So, Coach, the season is here. We're excited about it. You've got to be excited about it as well.
Yeah, got to get focused on getting the team ready. We won't be at full strength Saturday night, but a chance to see some of our young developmental players get in the team and start getting ready for the season. All is good. It looked good in training this morning. Hopefully it gets stronger and stronger. We'll use it to analyze a lot of plays on Saturday because it's not actually in our league, but it'll be a very exciting night.
Well, we want to thank you for our premier edition of the Jesters Court for Coach Kenny Farrell. Paul Warren saying we'll see you at Pan American Stadium on Saturday night.